When the store manager hired him, he only saw a friendly, reliable person. But during the armed robbery, former Delta Force operator Marcus Thompson's true identity would be revealed, and no one would be prepared. Marcus Thompson was 42 years old and had been working as a cashier at FreshMart supermarket in Oakland for 3 months. He was a broad-shouldered, medium-height, calm man. He spoke politely with customers, scanned barcodes quickly, and handed back change with a smile. No one questioned his past. FreshMart was a corner market in a middle-class neighborhood of the city. It was a friendly place where families did their daily shopping and neighbors chatted with each other. Marcus usually worked at Register 3, the one closest to the exit. "It's more practical for customers," he told manager Sandra Williams. Marcus's co-workers liked him. He was calm, reliable, never late. During lunch breaks, he sat alone in the corner, quietly eating his sandwich. He didn't ask too many questions, didn't talk about his past. "I'm an ordinary guy," he would say. "I don't like to draw attention." But Marcus had certain habits. He would test the panic button under his register at the start of every shift. He constantly observed his surroundings, analyzed customers' behavior, cameras, exit doors, security systems. He knew the location of everything by heart, and he never turned his back to the main entrance. The truth was, Marcus Thompson had served in the U.S. Army Special Forces for 15 years. As a Delta Force operator, he had been involved in classified operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, and places around the world whose names weren't even known. Hostage rescue, counterterrorism, deep reconnaissance. He had specialized in all of them. Why had he left? In his last mission as team leader in Syria, everything had gone wrong. The intelligence was false, the exit plan had collapsed, he had lost 3 friends. Marcus had escaped wounded, but had lost his faith in PTSD, survivor's guilt, and military missions. After leaving the Army, he was trying to adapt to civilian life. This Friday evening, Marcus was on the night shift. The store was quiet, only a few customers were there. Young mother Lisa Martinez was shopping with her child. Elderly Mr. Henderson was buying his daily newspaper. Marcus was working at his register as usual, watching his surroundings. At 9:45 p.m., 3 men entered the store. Marcus immediately noticed them. Their walk, posture, the expression in their eyes wasn't normal customer behavior. All 3 wore dark coats, heads down, hands buried in their pockets. They were talking quietly among themselves. The alarm inside Marcus began to ring. Special Forces training kicked in. Threat assessment. 3 males, ages 20 to 30, probably armed. Exit routes, main entrance, back exit, emergency door. Civilians, mother and child, elderly man, young Sarah at the register. Security, cameras present, alarm system active, but no security guard. The men started wandering around the store but weren't shopping. They were checking cameras, counting personnel, examining exits. Marcus observed all this while continuing to act like a normal cashier. He moved his hand closer to the panic button under his register. Suddenly, the tall one, who seemed to be the group's leader, walked toward the register. The other 2 also took positions, one controlling the main entrance, the other watching the back. Marcus's heart rate increased, but there was no change in his face. "Hello," said Marcus in his normal customer greeting voice. "How can I help you?" The tall man approached, moving his hand inside his jacket. "You're going to open the cash register." Marcus continued smiling. "I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean." The man pulled out his gun, a .38 caliber revolver. "Cash register. Now." At that moment, military training planning began in Marcus's mind. 3 targets, 1 weapon visible, unknown if others armed. Civilians in danger, mother and child aisle 3, elderly man aisle 7, teenage cashier Sarah lane 1. Primary objective, neutralize threats, protect civilians. Secondary, minimize collateral damage. "Okay, okay," said Marcus, raising his hands. "Stay calm. I'm opening the cash register." While opening the register drawer, Marcus reassessed his surroundings. The mother and child were lucky. They could hide between the aisles. Mr. Henderson was far away, but young Sarah had panicked and remained motionless. "Hurry up!" shouted the armed man. Marcus began taking money out of the register, but at the same time, with 15 years of Delta Force experience, he was forming a plan. The man's stance was amateur, not holding the gun correctly, distance too close, attention diverted. The other two also seemed like amateurs. "How much money is there?" asked the man. "About $200, said Marcus. "Night shift. Not much money." "The safe? Where's the big money safe?" "In the office. But the managers have the keys. I can't open it." The man was starting to get nervous. Not a good sign. Nervous amateurs were unpredictable and dangerous. Just then, the man in the back shouted, "Tom!" Police car outside. There actually wasn't one, but Marcus knew this would create panic. And he was right. All three panicked, started shouting at each other. Exactly the opportunity Marcus had been waiting for. "Quick, take the money and let's go," shouted Tom. As Marcus handed over the money, he deliberately stayed back a bit so the man would have to reach forward. Just as the man leaned forward, Marcus engaged 15 years of hand-to-hand combat training. With his right hand, he controlled the gun from the man's wrist. With his left hand, he applied a pressure point to the neck area. Before the man understood what was happening, he was dazed. Marcus took the gun and gained control in 3 seconds. "Sarah, get down!" shouted Marcus. While the other 2 men were trying to understand what was happening, Marcus was already in action. Thanks to his military training, his situational awareness was perfect. He knew the location of the second man and the third. The man at the main entrance tried to draw his gun, but Marcus's position was perfect. Taking cover from behind the register, he had gained tactical advantage over the man. "Drop your weapon," Marcus commanded, his voice no longer that of Cashier Marcus but of Sergeant Marcus Thompson. The man dropped his gun in fear. The third man tried to escape, but Marcus had already triggered the police sirens. After pressing the panic button, the alarm system had activated, automatically calling the police station. 5 minutes later, Oakland Police Department cars had surrounded the store. When Officer Janet Rodriguez and her team entered, they found the 3 robbers on the ground and Marcus calmly checking their conditions. "Sir, what's your status?" asked Officer Rodriguez. 3 armed robbery attempts," said Marcus. "All under control. Weapons secured, no injuries." Rodriguez noticed Marcus's calmness and professional approach. "Are you security?" "No, ma'am. Cashier." "Cashier?" Rodriguez was surprised. "How did you manage this situation control?" Marcus smiled. "I was lucky." But Rodriguez had experience. Marcus's posture, terminology usage, threat management approach wasn't that of an ordinary civilian. "Sir, do you have military background?" Marcus hesitated. It was time to reveal the identity he had hidden for 3 months. U.S. Army Special Forces. Retired. Rodriguez's eyes lit up. "Delta Force?" "Classified, ma'am." That evening, while giving his statement, the whole story came out. Marcus Thompson, 15 years Special Forces veteran, Delta Force operator, multiple classified missions, honorable discharge. He had transitioned to civilian life due to PTSD, looking for a normal job. Store manager Sandra Williams talked with Marcus the next day. "Marcus," said Sandra, "why didn't you tell me the truth?" "Because I'm not that man anymore, Sandra. I'm just Marcus, the cashier." "But what you did last night?" "Last night I did what I had to do. I needed to protect our customers." Sandra looked at him. "Marcus, you're not just a cashier. You're our hero." The story appeared in local news. Store cashier prevents armed robbery using Special Forces background. But Marcus didn't want publicity. He just wanted to continue his job. The customers changed. Now they looked at Marcus differently. When Mother Lisa Martinez came with her child, she would say, "Marcus protected us." Mr. Henderson thanked him every day. Young cashier Sarah began to see Marcus as a mentor. "Marcus, you're really a hero." "No, Sarah," said Marcus. "I'm just someone doing his job. Real heroes," he said, pointing to the store, "are the people who trust to shop here safely every day." But the community had understood Marcus's value. For weeks, people came just to shop at his register. Children wanted to see him. Veteran groups wanted to talk with him. Marcus was initially uncomfortable, but then understood. Maybe this was a way to deal with his PTSD. Community service, protecting people, feeling valued. Oakland Police Department gave him an honorary citizen award. Sandra Williams wanted to make him assistant manager. But Marcus continued working as a cashier. "Why?" asked Sandra. "Because here I'm close to people," said Marcus. "I can touch their lives. In Delta Force, missions were abstract. Here, every customer is real, every family important." Months passed. Marcus became an indispensable part of FreshMart. Not just a cashier, but also informal security, customer service expert, and mentor to young employees. One day, his former Delta Force friend Mike Rodriguez came to the store. "Marcus, I heard. How's civilian life?" "Good, Mike. Different, but good." "Are you thinking of coming back? Contracting companies are paying a lot." Marcus looked at his register, his customers, Sandra, Sarah. "No, Mike. I'm where I need to be." "But you were one of Delta Force's best operators." "And now I'm FreshMart's best cashier," said Marcus with a smile. Mike understood. "How's your PTSD?" "Better. There's a purpose here. People know me, trust me. This is the healing process." That evening, as Marcus walked home, he thought about his past. Delta Force missions had made him a worldwide hero, but no one knew. The 3-minute action at FreshMart had made him a local hero, and everyone knew. Maybe this was what real heroism was? Protecting ordinary people, serving on a daily basis, being part of the community. Marcus Thompson had transformed from Delta Force operator to FreshMart cashier. But actually, he had always remained a protector. Only the mission location had changed. And today I ask you, do you know someone in your life who found themselves in a second career, using their past skills in a new environment? Share their stories in the comments. If this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe. We share such transformation stories and hidden heroes every week.